Hello, 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 everybody. Hello. How are you? I hope everyone's having a wonderful time. Let me reset the counters. I hope you are having a wonderful time. Today, it's snowing outside. I have a little snow sound effect in the fireplace. I hope it doesn't sound too overstimulating. Let me know if the windy snow is too loud. I can turn it down. Did everybody have a good weekend? Okay. I'm gonna test some things. you for the follow. The silent morning. Since it's an ASMR stream, I get to spell out your name and give you. Oh, got something. And give you some kisses. So thank you for the follow and welcome to my cozy cottage. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the stretch. Yeah, my legs are falling asleep, but you can definitely hear everything about my chair squeaking. I forgot to add that at the beginning. So don't mind that message. No. Why do that? Why you do that? My eyebrows are doing the thing again from last time. What the hell? Why you do this? It seems to happen when I put this filter on, and I'm not sure why. Yeah, what the hell? There's a hidden eyebrow. A hidden eyebrow. What the hell? What the hell? Okay, I guess I have to fix it. Or I'll try to figure it out, I'm not sure. Okay. Sorry. Gotta do some IT real quick. Why? Why? What the fuck? Ooh. Yeah. Having okay, that is not. I'm gonna fix my brows, so I'm not sure what's up with the settings. I have no idea. My eyebrow just gonna look crazy. I just get to have extra eyebrow. I didn't wanna have to get rid of my cozy lighting, but I had to change it up a little so it's not dramatic on my face. Sorry. What if I did this? No. doing it like that. Sorry, everyone. The ambiance is going to be a little bit different. I know I am so cute. Oh, since it's almost Valentine's Day, do you guys want to see my Valentine's outfit? Okay, one moment. One moment. Da-da-da. Okay. Okay. Classic foot reveal. I have a little, like, ankle bracelets and cute heels on. This might not be the final coloring, but this is what I got to yesterday. Okay. Long leg. Okay. There's a heart. A big train tail on my dress. There's some sparkles. Sparkles. Legs for days. Yeah. Oh, you can see my underwear. Don't look. Don't look. It's not polite. Focus on the bracelet. I didn't know that would happen. But it's cute on the bottom. Now I'm not gonna unsee it. It's very sparkly. I don't normally wear sparkles. And it has a little chain on the dress. And I have a classy, sophisticated necklace to go with it. But maybe I should have made my hair classy to go with it. But for now, here it is. Let me make me size accurate for the environment. How tall is a typical fireplace? Because if so, this is how tall I am. Well, but with the coffee table, then I'd probably be, yeah, this tall. Size accurate. Size accuracy. What? What do you mean? Okay, so if this is the... Well, why is the couch so low? But, I mean, I just... Okay, fine, how about... But I got heels on, so it's like, so I get to be a little taller. Don't be rude. Maybe the shoes should be red or... I don't know, but I like the white shoes too with it. What do you think? Is it too sparkly? stick with the red. White has gives me a headache really fast. A sweet red. Maybe like a Merlot. Merlot. I changed my mind. Sake and sushi. Sake and sushi. Sake. Or pizza. Pizza. Chicken wing. Chicken wing. Oh, I'm hungry. I want chicken wings now. What would you want to eat this evening? What are you drinking? I'd also make like a little mojito. Maybe. Maybe that's not an evening drink or a winter drink. But I like mojitos. Yeah. I think that's like, I don't really drink that much anymore because liquor gives me heartburn. So I'm not sure if that means I'm allergic or just old or both. Like as soon as I take be it vodka, bourbon whiskey, rum, Mai Tai. Ooh, Mai Tai and some lemon. You got a sweet tooth. Honey glazed salmon is tasty. Okay, we're thinking of romantic dinners. Have to be better. No, I always just want sushi. All you can eat sushi. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, true. Japanese steakhouse, and then we have it for everyone. I also like a big. Not sure. I can't not think of sushi right now. Yeah. But chicken wings are awesome. But if anything freaky is going on, they can't be spicy. Because this is gonna be a TMI NSFW story. I think we're gonna do sushi for. Are you okay? Hold on. Y'all heard that big crash outside the room. I think we might do sushi for Valentine's Day. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Cyber Psycho. Mena. Welcome to the Cozy Cottage. Since this is an ASMR stream, I get to spell out your name and give you some kisses. nice new emote. I started playing with the emote lab yesterday, but I didn't finish. Thank you. It's the best thing to ever happen. I don't think so. Mono? Oh, it's left and right. Hi, Anwa, click clack. Waifua. They said they're taking you away. You're not mine to say. So I came by today when I've known. And if I pushed you, hey. Hi, Jay. So I pushed you too strong. My phone keeps buzzing. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? It's not playing on the stream, is it? Coffee cake! I was just hopping it, yes. So, yes, with those context clues, it would be pointing towards, yes, I maybe have watching them and listening to it every day. It is what it is. Oh, for tomorrow, if I get it set up in time, because I set it up and I started stream, but then it said I needed to restart OBS for it to work. But I have something special for watch streaks. So if you're coming tomorrow, then I'll let you know then. Oh no. Wow. Fake fan. Fake friend. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I have to cough again, I'm so sorry. How can you hurt my feelings and humiliate me publicly like this? In my fancy Valentine's Day dress, no less. In my cozy cottage with the view is so rude. Mods hate me because they forget their mods constantly. Oh, Yuki, thank you for redeeming. Spell your name. Yeah, don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. But I should set up a Cerebra, right? And also, if you use streamer bot or whatever, do you still use mix it up, or do you just not use that anymore? Does it replace? I don't think so. Maybe I'm crazy. Do you, when you use StreamerBot, do you still use like Streamlabs or Stream Elements, or it's just StreamerBot? Asking for myself. I have no friends. Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. I think I've yawned like 3 times. How do I get my friends to sing cover songs with me? What if I sing and you mix the instrumental? What if oh no, I don't want to make you do anything like that if you don't want to. I know your time is valuable. But then it would be so embarrassing because, like, if I'm bad, then you kind of have to tell me right then and there that I'm bad at singing, or you deal with my bad singing. And you have to listen to it over and over again until you're done with the edit. What? Why are you so bad? Hey, can I talk to you for a second? I'm just wondering why you're so bad. Why are you so bad at this? I like your singing. I have a wonderful sing, thank you. Not always. Sometimes I eat a bunch of sugar right before I'm supposed to karaoke. I just set myself up for failure for real. In about 30 minutes, we are switching microphones, and I'll be reading chapter 2 from the book, Song for the Wild Build. It's a book about a tea monk and a robot. So, as far as the world in the book, robots became sentient, and they came to an agreement with humanity that they were going to cut ties because humanity was abusing them for a while. And humanity from there grew from technology dependent to kind of like almost a utopia, just a healthier version of the modern world. And the robots just live in the wild without any contact with humans. And it's been maybe 100 or so years, maybe more. I'm forgetting the timeline. Maybe 100. And then, so the monk was an individual. They used to be a gardener in the city, and one day they decided they wanted to change their job, and they needed to get out of the city, and they needed to go travel for a bit and go camping, a big hike by themselves, like a lone journey. And yeah, on the lone journey, a robot comes out to check on humanity and stumbles across the tea monk. I think it's a very cute book, so that's why I want to read it for you. Sorry, big cough. Nemo. Have you seen my son? Nemo. Nemo. Have you seen my son? Have you seen my son? Nemo. You think you can do everything, but you just can't, Nemo. I roleplay as Merlin. Merlin. Nemo Dad roleplay ASMR. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Cozy Cottage. Since this is an ASMR stream, I get to spell out your name and give you some kisses. Welcome in. S F O X 1 4. Welcome. What was I doing? Oh. I messed something up here. Well. ginger beer before starting because I was nauseous. And I'm being punished for it. My body is punishing me, filling me with the gas. You don't like the sound because it sounds like the motorcycles. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Chapter 2. Oh, I spoiled some of the book. I didn't realize we didn't get to that part yet. Oops. Okay, well, it is what it is. Okay. Chapter 2. The best T-monk in Panga. After 2 years traveling the quiet highways between Panga's villages, was no longer a matter of mental mapping, but of sensory input. Here, in the woods of the Inkthorn Pass, Dex knew they were close to the highway's namesake, not because of the signs that said so, but because of the smell. Sulfur and minerals, bound together in a slight thickening of humidity. Milky green hot springs came into view a few minutes later as expected, as well as the smooth white dome of the energy plant standing alongside, exhaling steam through its chimneys. There had been nothing like this in the shrublands where Dex had woken up that morning. There you'd find solar farms built in untended fields, which smelled of sun-warmed scrub and wildflowers. In a week's time, there'd be yet another transition, as Dex's route took them back out of the Timberfall and down to the Buckland coast, where the salty air kept a wind blade spinning. But for now, Dex would keep company with the scent of the forest. The sulfur of the springs was quickly subsumed by fresh evergreen as Dex pedaled onward. And before long, ground-level buildings like the geothermal plant were few and far between. A forest floor, the woodland villagers knew, is a living thing. Vast civilizations lay within the mosaic of dirt. Hymenopteran labyrinths, retental panic worms, life-giving airways sculpted by the traffic of worms, hopeful spiders, hunting cabins, crash pads for nomadic beetles, trees shyly locking toes with one another. It was here that you'd find the resourcefulness of rot, the wholesomeness of fungi. Storming these lives through digging was a violence, though sometimes a needed one, as demonstrated by the birds and white skunks who brashly kicked the humus away in necessary pursuit of a full belly. Still, the human residents of this place were judicious about what constituted actual necessity, and as such, disturbed the ground as little as possible. Careful trails were cut, of course, and some objects, cisterns, power junctions, trade vehicles, and so on, had no option but to live full-bodied on the ground. But if you wanted to see the entirety of a woodland settlement, the direction was to look up. Dex couldn't help gazing at the homes suspended from the trunks of the trail. Even though they'd seen them many a time, Inkthorn was an especially attractive village, home to some of the most skilled carpenters in that region. The hanging homes looked akin to shells, cut open to reveal soft geometry. Everything there curved, the rain-shielding roofs, the light-giving windows, the bridges running between like jewelry. The wood was all gathered from unsuitable structures no longer in use, or harvested from trees that had needed nothing more than mud and gravity to bring them down. Thank you for the hydrate. Thank you. Thank you. was nothing splintered or rough about the lumber, though. Inkthorn's craftspeople had polished the grain so smooth that from a distance it looked almost like clay. The village's practical features were ubiquitous. Powered pulleys to bring heavier goods up and down, emergency ladders ready to drop at a moment's notice, bulbous biogas digesters attached outside kitchen walls. But every home had a unique character, a little whim of the builders. This one had a deck that danced around the house in a spiral. That one had a bubbled skylight. The other had a tree growing through it rather than beside. The homes were like trees themselves in that regard, unmistakably part of a specific visual category, yet each an individual unto itself. Wagons like Dex's stood no chance on a hanging bridge, so Dex pedaled their way to one of the rare cleared areas, the market circle. The sun cascaded through the hole cut in the canopy, creating a bountiful column. Thank you for the daily hugs. They make me feel warm and fuzzy. Sun cascaded through the hole cut in the canopy, creating a bountiful column. Hold up. What do you mean? Hold me, I hold you. If you hold me, hold me, hold you. Hold you, hold me. Hold me. Why you don't want to hold me? It's kind of crazy. Of course, I hold you back. Sun cascaded through the hole cut in the canopy, creating a bountiful column of light that played pleasingly with the butter-colored paving inlaid with vibrant stones. Dex hadn't minded the forest's chill, but the sudden bloom of warmth felt like the squeeze of a soothing hand against the bare limbs. Oh, yeah! Oh my gosh! Thank you so much! Thank you! Oh my gosh! Thank you for the subs! Thank you so much! Well, since you sub, you get your name on me. Yeah. Where would you like to be? Where would you like to be? It'll be here for today, tomorrow, and next week. My big ass forehead. Thank you so much. It's really appreciated. For some reason, nothing is like sticking to my chest. What the hell? What the hell? What the fuck? Oh. No, I don't know. Well, okay then, right here. Booba don't wanna have you jiggle on them. I'm so confused. Okay, we're gonna figure this out. What? Okay, it follows like this, but it does not move with my body. Why? That did nothing. I'm upset. Okay, well. I messed up the whole thing. Duh. Okay. Well, it is what it is. But thank you so much. I so appreciate it. Is there a particular trigger you would want? Or is it okay that we keep reading? Oh gosh, I thought I turned down my mic. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I just can't get over this cough. Dex hadn't minded the forest chill, but the sudden bloom of warmth felt like the squeeze of a soothing hand against their bare limbs. Alalay was very present there. Other wagons had already set up shop. A glass vendor from the coast, a Dex swapper, someone hawking oils for cooking, and vanity and wood. The traders nodded as Dex pedaled in. Dex didn't know any of them, but nodded back all the same. It was a particular nod, the one traders gave each other, even though Dex wasn't a trader technically. Their wagon made that fact clear as day. Dex gave a different sort of nod to the small crowd that was already waiting. At the circle's periphery, a nod that said, "Hey, I see you. I'll be ready soon." The first time Dex had encountered waiting people, it had felt stressful. But Dex, what is my reward? I got a little froggy emote. Yeah. I love frogs, so this is a great gift. Thank you. It had felt stressful, but Dex had quickly learned to not let it trouble them. They entered a space in their mind in which there was an invisible wall between them and their assembly, behind which Dex could work undisturbed. The thing that people wanted took time to prepare. If they wanted it, they could wait. Dex pulled into an unclaimed spot in the circle, kicked down the ox bike brakes, and locked the wagon wheels. Unruly hair tumbled into their eyes as they released it from their helmet, hiding the market from view. There was no hope for hair that had been locked in a helmet since dawn, so they tied a head wrap around their scalp and postponed the mess for later. They ducked into the wagon, peeled off their damp shirt, and tossed it into the laundry bag that contained nothing but garments of red and brown. They dusted themselves liberally with deodorant powder, fetched a dry shirt from the shrinking stack, and retied the head wrap in a respectable symmetry. It would do. The production began. Dex went back and forth between the public space outside and the home within, ferrying all that was needed. Boxes were carried, jars arranged, bags unpacked, kettles deployed, cooler of creamers at the ready. These were placed on or around the folding table, each in their usual spot. Dex filled the kettle from the wagon's water tank, leaving it to boil as they artfully placed carved stones, preserved flowers, and curls of festive ribbon around the table's empty spaces. A shrine had to look like a shrine, even if it was transitory. One of the villagers from the waiting crowd walked up to Dex. "Do you need any help?" she asked. Dex shook their head. "No thanks. I've kinda gotta..." They looked at the jar of flowers in one hand and a battery pack in another, trying to remember what it was they'd been doing. The villager put up her palms. "You gotta flow. Totally." She smiled and backed off. Rhythm regained, Dex unfolded a huge red mat and laid it on the paving. A bundle of collapsible poles was unpacked next, and from these made a rectangular frame on which hung the garden lights that had been charging on the outside of the wagon all day. Comfy cushions came next, arranged on the mat in inviting heaps. In the middle of this, Dex placed another table, a good deal smaller and quite low to the ground. This, too, was decorated cheerfully. They then opened a small wooden box and removed 6 objects, one by one, unrolling them from the pieces of protective cloth that shielded against the bounce of the road. Dex could easily print replacements if these got damaged. Most towns had a fab shack. That wasn't the point. No object should be treated as disposable. Idols least of all. The icons of the parent gods were the first to take their place on the small table, set upon a wooden stand cut for this very purpose. A perfect sphere represented Bosch, god of the cycle, who oversaw all things that lived and died. Grilum, god of the inanimate, was symbolized by a trilateral pyramid, an abstract nod to their realm of rock, water, and atmosphere. Between them was placed a thin vertical bar of Trichili, god of the threads, chemistry, physics, and the framework that lay unseen. Below their parents, directly on the table, Dex arranged the child gods, a sunjay for Samafar, a sugar bee for Chal, and of course, the summer bear. At last, Dex sat in their chair behind the larger table. They pulled their pocket computer from their baggy travel trousers and flicked the screen awake. It was a good computer given to them on their 16th birthday, a customary coming-of-age gift. It had a cream-colored frame and a pleasingly crisp screen, and Dex had only needed to repair it 5 times in the years that it had traveled in their clothes. A reliable device built to last a lifetime, as all computers were. Dex tapped the icon shaped like a handshake, and the computer beeped cheerily, letting them know the message was sent. That was Dex's cue to sit back and wait. Every person in Inkthorn who had previously told their own pocket computers they wanted to know when new wagons arrived now knew exactly that. In comic synchrony, everybody in the crowd pulled out their computers within seconds of Dex's tap, silencing the chorus of alerts. Dex laughed, and the crowd laughed, and Dex waved them over. Miss Jules was the first to arrive, as always. Dex smiled to himself as she approached. Of all the sacred 6's constants, Dex could think of few more predictable than of Miss Jules being stressed out. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Since this is an ASMR stream, I get to spell out your name and give you some kisses. Is the first letter an L or an I? I think it's an L. I'm gonna assume it's an L. If it's not, I'm sorry. But welcome in, welcome to my cozy cottage. We love to have you. L0 L O K A 9 4. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here today, Miss Jules said with a weary huff. Inkthorn's water engineer looked back at the village with deep annoyance, one thumb hooked in the belt loop of her grubbery overalls, flower curls of gray hair bobbing as she shook her head. 6 reports of muckmite nests. 6. Ugh, Dex said. Muckmites loved trains and were notoriously difficult to discourage when they took up residence. I thought you had that sorted last season with the... what was it? Formic acid, Jules said. Yeah, didn't work this year. I don't know if my crew didn't apply it right, or if the little bastards have become resistant, or what. All I know is I've got a to-do list as long as both my legs put together. Mr. Tucker's gray lines keep coming up for reasons I can't fathom, and my dog... She glowered murderously. My dog ate 3 pairs of my socks yesterday. Didn't chew holes, didn't rip them up, ate them. I had to get the vet from Elwood to come make sure she wasn't going to die, which I did not have time for. Dex smirked. Didn't have the time to see the vet, or didn't have the time for your dog maybe dying? Both. Dex nodded, assessing the situation and the tools they had at hand. They picked up a wide mug in one of the many jars. The latter was filled with a melange of hand-mixed leaves and dried petals, and bore a hand-labeled sticker reading Blend Number 14. Dex opened the lid and held the jar out for Miss Jules to smell. What do you think of that? Miss Jules leaned in and inhaled. Oh, that's nice, she said. Beeweed? Dex shook their head as they scooped some of the mix into the metal infuser. Close. Lion grass, they said. They winked. It's very calming. Miss Jules snorted. Who said I need calming? She said. Dex chuckled as they filled the mug from the kettle. A puff of fragrant steam joined the forest air. I remember you liking both honey and goat's milk, right? Well, yeah, Miss Jules blinked. You're good. Dex spooned in a generous dollop and a creamy splash, then handed Miss Jules her cup of tea. Give it 4 minutes to steep, they said, and all the time you want to drink it. Let me know if you'd like another. I don't have time for 2, Miss Jules said grimly. Sibling Dex smiled. Everyone's got time for 2. Anybody who sees you here will understand. And they would, Dex knew. It was hard to find a penguin who hadn't, at least, once spent a very necessary hour or 2 in the company of a tea monk. Miss Jules' curls retained their frizz, but as she took the mug, something in her face started to let go, as if her features were held in place by strings that had been waiting months to loosen. Thank you, she said sincerely. Taking out her pocket computer with her free hand, she tapped the screen. Dexes chimed in response, and they nodded in gratitude. Respite from muckmites and sock-chomping dog granted, Miss Jules took her tea to the comfy cushions and, in what looked like it might be the first time that day, sat down. She closed her eyes and let out a tremendous sigh. Her shoulders visibly slumped. She'd always had the ability to relax them. She just needed the permission to do so. Praise Allah. Dex swallowed a wistful sigh as they saw their next visitor approaching. Mr. Cody was a good-looking man, with arms that split logs and a smile that could make a person forget all concept of linear time. But the 2 babies strapped to his torso, one squealing in the front, one dead asleep in the back, made Dex keep any thoughts about the rest of Mr. Cody's anatomy completely to themselves. From the circles under Mr. Cody's eyes, it looked as though sex was the last thing on his mind. Hey, sibling Dex, he said. Dex already had a jar of fever fig in hand and was reaching for the poor root. Hey, Mr. Cody, they said. So, Mr. Cody was distracted by the front-facing infant gnawing wetly on the carrier strap. Come on, don't do that, he said in a voice that had no illusion of his request being respected. He sighed, and his attention turned to Dex. So, the thing is, Mm-hmm, Dex said, grinding a complex mix of herbs. Mr. Cody opened his mouth and closed it, and opened it again. I have twins, he said. He added nothing further. The one on his chest unleashed a happy shriek at the top of their lungs, as if to underline the point. Mm-hmm, Dex replied. You sure do. They poured the ground herbs into a storage bag, tied it up with a ribbon, and pushed it across the table decisively. Mr. Cody blinked. Do I not get a cup of tea? You get 8 cups of tea, Dex said, nodding at the bag, because you sure as shit need them. They scrunched their nose at the baby, and the baby smiled loudly. Dex continued to address said baby's hot dad. This is a nice fever fake brew. It'll relax your muscles and help you fall into a deep sleep. 2 tablespoons in a mug of boiling water, steep for 7 minutes. Take the strainer out when it's ready to go, or else it's going to taste like feet. Mr. Cody picked up the bag and sniffed it. Doesn't smell like feet. It smells like oranges? Dex smiled. There's a dash of zest in there. You've got a good nose. And a good face, they thought. A really, really good face. Mr. Cody smiled, even as the first child's exultations awoke the second and kicked off a duet. That sounds nice, he said. Relief began to melt the lines around his eyes. I would love some sleep. It won't knock me out, right? Like, I'll wake up if your kiddos need something, you wake up fast as always. Fever Vig is a gentle cuddle, not a brick to the head. Mr. Cody laughed. Okay, great. He tucked the bag into his pocket with a smile, transferred the peps to Dex. Thanks, that's very nice of you. Dex smiled back. Thank Alale, they said. And me, that's cool. You can thank me too. They sighed again at the sublime sight of Mr. Cody walking away. Over on the mat, the timer on Miss Jewel's pocket computer chimed. Dex watched out of the corner of their eye as she took a careful sip. Miss Jules licked her lips. God's around, that's good, she muttered to herself. Dex beamed, and so they worked through the line, filling mugs and listened carefully and blending herbs on the fly when the situation called for it. The mat was soon full of people. Pleasant chatter naturally drifted along here and there, but most folks kept to themselves. Some read books on their computers, some slept, a few cried, which was normal. Their fellow tea drinkers offered shoulders for this. Dex provided handkerchiefs and refills as needed. Mix Weaver, one of Inkthorn's council members, was the last to arrive that day. No tea for me, thanks, they said as they approached the table. I come bearing an invite to dinner at the common house tonight. The hunting crew brought in a big buck this morning, and we've got plenty of wine to go around. I'd love to, Dex said. Gifted meals were one of the nicer perks of the work, and an elk roast was nothing they'd pass on, ever. What's the occasion? You, Mix Weaver said simply. Dex blinked with surprise. You're joking. No, seriously. We knew from your schedule that you'd be doing service here today, and we wanted to do something special to say thanks for... Mix Weaver gestured at the contented group lounging on Dex's cushions. You know, what you bring to this town. Dex was flattered to say the least. Hi. Hi. Hi, Lavos. Yes, it's been a while. I hope you missed me too. And I hope you've been good. How are you? Sorry. Nope. When I think it's over, it's never actually over, and more come out, and I apologize. Dex was flattered, to say the least, and unsure of what to do with a compliment like that. It's just my vocation, Dex said, but that means a lot. Really, thank you. I'll be there. Mix Weaver shrugged and smiled. Least we can do for the best tea monk of Panga. And I'm gonna be right back. I have to use the restroom. I'm glad. It's lovely to hear it. I'm glad I can help you relax, and I'm sorry I have to dip to the bathroom as soon as you get here, but I've been holding it for a while. I'm gonna get water and go to the bathroom. The road from the woodlands led to the road to the coastlands, which led to the riverlands, which led to the shrublands, and back to the woodlands once more. Decks made their circuit again and again and again, and every stop they made, they found gratitude, gifts, goodwill. The crowds got bigger and the dinners more frequent. The blends Dex served became a little more creative every time. As far as the life of a tea monk went, this was about as successful as could be. And yet, at some undefined point, Dex started waking each morning feeling like they hadn't slept. This was the case one particular morning, when they woke up in Snow's Pass. They knew they had slept. There was a deep absence of memory, stretching unbroken from when they'd been listening to the frogs in the dark trees outside to now. As they squinted at their pocket computer and noted that a clean 7.5 hours had passed since the last time they looked at it, there was no good reason for waking up tired. There had been no reason for it any of the other mornings either. Maybe they needed to eat better. Maybe there was some vitamin or good sugar or something they weren't getting enough of. That was probably it, they thought, even though our recent clinic checkup had cleared them on these fronts. Or perhaps they had thought it was the frogs. The frogs are fine. They were so darling up close, pudgy green jumpers that looked like nothing so much as gummy candy. Their song began every evening around sundown and faded away before dawn. The sound was pleasant in a funny, croaky way, but frogs weren't crickets. The lack of stridulated melody in the night air hadn't bothered Dex when they first left the city. They'd noticed it, of course, but honing their craft had consumed them, and they knew crickets to be absent in the satellite villages. It hadn't bothered them in the coastlands either, where they assumed crickets weren't endemic. But once they reached the riverlands, the question began to sharpen. "Do you have crickets here?" Dex had asked with affected nonchalance around dinner tables, in public saunas, in shrines, in tool swaps, in bakeries. It wasn't until after Dex's first full circuit of the village, when word of their services began to spread, when their calendar had been carefully blocked out with a schedule that tried to make as many people as happy as possible, when Dex returned to a village to find a group of 4 people already waiting their arrival, that Dex stopped asking about crickets and finally just looked the damn things up. Crickets, as it turned out, were extinct in most of Panga, while numerous species across all phyla had bounced back. After the transition, many others had been left in a state too fragile to recover. Not all wounds were capable of healing. But so what, right? Dex was the best tea monk in Panga, if the chatter was to be believed. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Sorry, sometimes I'm really bad at reading. Okay. They didn't believe such hyperbole in themselves, and it's not like anything about their work was a competition, but their tea was good. They knew this. They'd work hard. They put their heart into it. Everywhere they went, they saw smiles, and Dex knew that it was their work, that brought those out, that they brought people joy. They made people's day. That was a tremendous thing when you sat and thought about it. That should have been enough. That should have been more than enough. And yet, if they were completely honest, the thing they had come to look forward to most was not the smiles, nor the gifts, nor the sense of work done well, but the part that came after that, the part when they returned to their wagon, shut themselves inside, and spent a few precious, shapeless hours entirely alone. Why wasn't it enough? Dex climbed down the ladder from their bunk, and the sight of the lower deck made them feel drained. It wasn't the wagon itself, but the contents. Herbs, herbs, herbs. Tea, tea, tea. Handmade things lovely gathered in an effort to make people feel good. Dex shut their eyes to it and walked out the door. Outside, the world was enjoying a perfect day. When you got to go, you got to go. Thank you. Thank you. Light steamed golden through the branches overhead. Hold on, I gotta start over. Herbs, herbs, herbs. Tea, tea, tea. Handmade things lovingly gathered in an effort to make people feel good. Dex shut their eyes to it and walked out the door. Outside, the world was enjoying a perfect day. Light streamed golden through the branches overhead, and the tips of budding branches waved good morning in the shy breeze. A stream chattered nearby. A butterfly the size of Dex's hand alighted on a thistle and spread its purple wings wide and flat, savoring the sunshine. Everything about Dex's surroundings, from the temperature to the floral backdrop, was the ideal accompaniment to the smooth downhill bike ride that awaited them. Hi, Barbara. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. I'm good. How are you? Everything about the Dex's surroundings, from the temperature to the floral backdrop to the ideal accompaniment to the smooth, was the ideal accompaniment to the smooth downhill bike ride that awaited them. Dex sighed, and the sound was empty. They unfolded their chair with a practiced shake and dropped down into it. They pulled out their pocket computer, as was their habit first thing, dimly aware of the hope that always spurred them to do so. That there might be something good there, something exciting or nourishing, something that would replace the weariness. Everything on the little screen should have fit the bill. There was a schedule of their own making, built for sharing the things they'd worked so hard on with eager participants. There were thank you notes from the villagers who felt moved enough to take time out of their days to share a piece of themselves with sibling Dex. There was a lengthy, heartfelt letter from their father, who told Dex all the things they'd missed at home, and most importantly, that they were loved. Dex swiped every one of these aside, a sliver of guilt rising up as they did so. They set that sliver precariously atop the heap of the other slivers from the days before. They placed their forehead in their palm. In 7 hours, they were supposed to be in hammer strike, a smile on their face, a mug of comfort extended. They believed in that work. They truly did. They believed the things they said, the secret words they quoted. They believed they were doing good. Why wasn't it enough? What is it? They asked without speaking. The gods did not communicate in this way and could not answer, but the instinct to call out was there. And Dex indulged. What's wrong with me? They asked. Wee-woo, wee-woo. Sorry. Okay. Sally. Back. Okay. Dex listened, though they knew they would hear nothing. Nothing in relation to their question, anyhow. There were many things to hear. Birds, bugs, trees, wind, water, but no crickets. Dex picked their pocket computer back up and began to reference search. Cricket recordings, they wrote, not for the first time. A list of public files popped up. Dex played the first of them, and the reedy pulse of a cricket-filled forest was conjured through their speakers on an immortal snapshot of an ecosystem long gone. These were pre-transition recordings, taken by people who thought, with good cause, that the sounds of the world they knew might disappear forever. The recording jutted distortedly into the sounds of the living meadow around them. It was out of place, out of time. Dex stopped the playback, looking idly at the archival information on each recording. Yellow Cricket, Fall 64, PT, 11:34, Salt Rock. Cellar Cricket, Summer 6, PT, 11:35. Helmet's Luck, Cloud Crickets, Spring 33, PT, 11:35. Hartsboro Hermitage, Chester Bridge. The last caught Dex's eye. Chester Bridge was an anachronistic name for a part of the northern wilds, as they remembered correctly. Hartsbrow, however, that name was still in use. It was one of the Antlers, a mountain range well beyond the borderlands, deep in the vast wilderness that humans had given back to Panga. Dex was aware of Hartsbrow in that dim sort of way where they could confirm that a thing existed, but say nothing else of it. The mention of a hermitage, however, that was new to them. Dex tapped the link. The Hartsbrow Hermitage was a remote monastery located near the summit of one of the lower mountains in the Antlers. Built in PT 1108, the Hermitage was intended as a sanctuary for both clergy and pilgrims who desired respite from urban life. It was abandoned at the end of the Factory Age, and the site now lies within the protected wilderness zone established during the Transitional era. Dex went back to the previous page, then clicked to the link for cloud crickets. Cloud crickets are a species of insect. Unlike other species of crickets, they were once widespread across Panga. The cloud cricket was found only in the evergreen forests of the Antlers. Cloud crickets were believed to be a threatened species during the end of the Factory Age. As the Antlers now fall within protected wilderness zone, the current status of the cloud cricket is unknown. Dex chewed on that. I wonder if they're still there, came the first thought. I could go there and find out, went the second. It was a stupid idea, easy to brush away, like the countless other moments in the day when a brain spins nonsense. But the thought came back as Dex cooked breakfast, and again as they got dressed, and again as they packed up camp. Here's why you can't go, they retorted irritably to themselves. They opened their map guide on their computer, entered here in one field and Hartsbrow Mountain in the other, and submitted the data. The map guide came back with a notification Dex had never seen before. Warning: the route you have entered goes outside of human settlement areas and into protected wilderness. Travel along pre-transition roads is strongly discouraged by both Penguin Transit Cooperative and the Wild Guard. Roads in these regions have not been maintained. Both road and environmental conditions are likely to be dangerous. Wildlife is unpredictable and unaccustomed to humans. This route is not recommended. Dex nodded in an I told you so way, got on their ox bike, and began to ride toward Hammerstrike, as scheduled. But as they pedaled, the idea continued to bounce around them like a gnat, just as the idea of leaving the city had once done. And as they pedaled farther along, everything about the day ahead of them felt like a chore. They knew what they had seen, what the scene would be in Hammerstrike. They knew what the ride the day after that would look like, and the day after that, and the day after that, and the day after. They stopped the wagon. I bet it's quiet out there, they thought. No, they replied and continued on. They stopped the wagon, again 20 minutes later. I bet you could travel that road for days and never see another person, they thought. The wagon's got all you need. No, they replied and continued on. An hour later, they stopped one more time. They stood there on the road, staring at the paving, feeling that the sun had grown unnaturally bright. The idea danced and danced. Their perception of the sunlight grew brighter still, and Dex would have sworn they were drunk or high or feverish, but on the contrary, what came next felt clear-headed as could be. They pulled out their pocket computer. They sent a message to Hammerstrike, letting the people there know that they were very sorry, but they would have to postpone their stop. Personal matters, they said. Return date to be determined. This action should have made Dex feel guilty, as ignoring that morning's messages had done. It didn't. It felt great. Dex sent a message to their dad, too, saying that they were very glad to receive his letter, but they were really busy that day, and everything was fine. But they'd get back to him later. That made them feel a little guilty, but not as much as it should have. With effort, they turned the wagon around and headed for a road they'd never seen before. What are you doing? They thought. The hell are you doing? I don't know, they replied with a nervous grin. I have no idea. The forest changed down in the villages. The towering trees had an accessible feel, allowing plenty of room for sunlight to reach the flowering bushes below. This old road, on the other hand, headed into the Gaskin forest, a place left to pursue its own instincts uninterrupted. Here, the trees were taller than any building you'd find outside the city. Their branches locked like pious fingers against the distant sky. Only the slightest threads of sun broke through, illuminating waxy needles in eerie glow. Moss hung down like tapestries. Fungus crept in alien curves. Birds called but could not be seen. The road itself was a relic, paved in black asphalt, an oil road made for oil motors and oil tires and oil fabric and oil frames. The hardened tar was broken now into tectonic plates, displaced by the unrelenting creep of roots below. Both oxbike and wagon struggled with this unkind surface, and more than once Dex had to stop to hop off the saddle and walk their vehicle around a pothole or clear debris from the road. They noted as they dragged a branch out of their way how dense the growth was beyond the edge of the dying asphalt, how intimidatingly tangled. Dex thought about the news stories that popped up every couple years, about some hiker who ventured off trail in the borderlands and was never heard of again. The wilderness was not known for letting the foolish return. Dex stuck to the road. They pedaled and pushed and dragged and walked and climbed. Allalay holds, Allalay warms, they panted. Allalay soothes, Allalay charms. Allalay holds, Allalay warms. They rounded the steep corner. Allalay soothes and Allalay... Ah, shit. They squeezed the brakes hard, jerking the handlebars to the side. Wagon and bike came to a sickening halt, accompanied by the sounds of dozens of items rattling inside, hopefully unbroken. There wasn't a branch across the road, but a tree. It was a small tree, but still, a whole-ass tree, its sturdy roots exposed. In the air, like an underworld bouquet. Dex slid off the saddle once more, straddling the frame of their bike, and thought, not for the first time, that maybe this was stupid. An hour back, the way they came, and they'd be on the return trip to Hammerstrike. There were hot springs they could soak in there, and a good cookhouse that probably had a rack of something wild over the fire. Dex imagined lights twinkling in the dark, guiding them back to a place made specifically for humans. They kicked down the wagon's brakes. They shoved, they swore, they rolled the damn tree out of the way, and continued their ride. By this point, Dex was wrecked. The air was getting crisp, the lighting getting low. Nothing about this combination was conducive to travel. But they had to find a decent place to stop. Good as Sister Fern's brakes were, parking the wagon on a slope wasn't safe. Overnight wasn't safe, so Dex climbed. Just as they were wondering if it were possible for a person's lungs to actually explode, they crested one last hump. This revealed a gentle downhill wind, which Dex coasted along with merciful ease. As the slope flattened out, it curved left, and what lay off the road there gave Dex a giddy rush of adrenaline. Sure, but triumph too. To some, the spot may have seemed to be nothing more than a clearing, but Dex saw it for what it truly was, a perfect campsite. Okay. Let's see. Okay. The clearing was level and spacious, yet snug, wreathed with trees as though the forest were cupping its hands around it. There was no pavement there, only the brown and green of good growing things. Dex parked both bike and wagon, then collapsed happily into the ground. A cloud of fireflies puffed from the moss into the air, flickering flirtatiously. The mattress of tiny leaves below Dex was soft and cool, a welcome balm for sweating skin. Ah, they said to the forest. The forest replied with rustling needles, creaking limbs, and nothing at all. Nobody in the world knows where I am right now, they thought, and the notion of that filled them with a bubbling excitement. They had cancelled their life, bailed out on a whim. The person they knew themselves to be should have been rattled by that. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Now I'm stuffy. But someone else was at the helm now. Someone rebellious and reckless. Someone who had picked a direction and gone for it as if they... Oh, thank you for the raid! Welcome. Oh my goodness. There's so many follows. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the raid, Leyland. Welcome and thank you everyone for the follows. Okay, let me give you a shout out. Thank you so much. Welcome. Leylina ASMR. Leylin ASMR. Thank you so much. Oh my god, embarrassing, not cozy. That was my birth control alarm. Hi, I hope you're doing well as well. Thank you so much for all the follows, everyone. It's really helpful. I really appreciate it. Mood important alarm. Yes, absolutely. Gotta take that. There's no chance of me getting pregnant, but I have PCOS, and so I need to take it. Thank you so much, everyone, for following. It's really helpful. I've been dying to get to 1,000 followers for so long, and there's so many follows. Usually for an ASMR stream, I spell out your name and give you kisses. You like the book? Have you read this book before? I'm reading A Psalm for the Wild Built. I'm glad you like it. I'm not the perfect reader. I'm a little dyslexic, so sometimes I don't read it right. Yeah, so let me give you name spelling and kisses since you're the raider VIP. Thank you for the follow. LAYLINASMR. Welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm so grateful. I appreciate you so much. Everyone, if you haven't already, check out Leland ASMR. They seem really cozy. And they have a really pretty model. Really pretty design. Yay. I hope you had a good stream. And let me see if I can get through everyone who followed. Let's see. Thank you for the follow, Wiggle Deluxe. WIGGLEDELUXE. Kitsune VC. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. And sorry for the zooms in the background. I live next to the highway. And I'm too poor to move somewhere else, so... Oh, I don't think I took my birth control. Hold on. I have it in my hand, but I don't think I took it. Okay. Too broke to move. For real. Oh, I love it. Got any Scooby snacks? I love that. I love that. Yeah, I grew up on Scooby-Doo. Yeah, for real. For real. I'm glad you understand the struggle. Thank you for the follow. Sorry, it would sound better if I had the 3DO mic on. Let me do that. Okay, 1 second. Oh, I don't know why what? I don't know what's happening. That was weird. That was weird. I'm so sorry. Oop. Okay, let me get my microphone. Okay, so what happened was I went to press a button to turn on this microphone, but then I accidentally clicked the button for my webcam briefly, and it messed up. It messed up my whole shit, and that's why my face did that. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the hydrate and stretch. I definitely need that. Okay, let's continue. Thank you for the follow. Yes, we definitely have had worse webcam issues. One time I was doing a body cam, like a hand cam for ASMR. I think I was building Legos or something, and my camera fell, and you could see my underwear. My booty shorts, my booty underwear. It was embarrassing. Body cam off since Nam. I remember Nam. No, I don't. I'm Vietnamese, but I was born in the USA. Literal ecchi anime. I've always wanted to be an anime girl, and that's why I'm a VTuber. Hiya, thank you for the follow. I'm going through the list of all the follows in order since the raid, and I'll be spelling everybody's name and giving them kisses. So, thank you. A horrendous tech malfunction indeed. Absolutely. Thank you, Elliot. Good boy. ELLIOT 0DA 0BO. Why? Gravity, physics, Newton. Science ruined everything. Science ruined everything. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. if you notice from the counter on the screen, I do be burping. So I'm so sorry. And I can't control when they come out, so I probably really ruined your ears. I apologize for headphone users. I'm so sorry. Okay. Next. Proteus 42. PROTEUS 42. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. We're speed running. Hit Manic. Thank you so much. HITMANIC_0U0. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Father Dragon. I can't tell if it's 2 underscores or 3, so I might mess up the spelling. FATHER____ Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, next. Oh shit. I have Hoshinuken. Thank you. Thank you. We have quite a few more, so I apologize. Next is Means 36. MAINC36. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, up next. I have to drink some water. Drowsy Potato. I like your username. Drowsy Potato. DROSY. Oh shit. I forgot the W. W. S. Y. My feet. My feet are gonna be cold and stinky. My feet are cold and stinky. for those of you, ooh, yum. Pho, yeah, hey la pho. What kind of pho? I'm speaking Vietnamese because I need to practice. Even though I'm Vietnamese, I didn't get to grow up using it a lot. So I try to practice when I can. Let me start over for drowsy potato because I kept fucking it up. Wait, no, I think I did it. Did I finish it or did I not? Y'all, I'm forgetful. Damn, I'm jealous. I wish I had a worthless pet. Where do I adopt one? Adoption signups now. Hi. Is that you? So you... Okay, so you like when I'm mean to you. I'm getting mixed signals. Because sometimes you be talking back to me. This is not something a worthless pet should be doing. I'm sure someone will be. One day. That's the dream. My dream is to have at least 4. At least 4. I'm looking for 4. Okay, next. This is an ASMR stream. I get to spell your name and give you some kisses. However, there was quite a few people that followed a bit ago, at least 15 minutes ago, and I'm still going through the list of names, so I'm really sorry. Got any Scooby snacks? S 2 more. Lay's worthless pet, it's your turn. Thank you so much. Thank you for the follow, Rainy. Your turn is after this next person. Halsey Vamp. HELSIV. Oh shit. IEV. AMP 66. Welcome. Anwa. Anwa, are you still here? Anwa, I see you playing tabletop simulator. I see you. Rainy. Thank you so much, everyone, for all the follows. Thanks to you all. Now I only need 5 people to reach my 1,000 follower goal. So I'm really excited because we're planning. I've been trying to. I can't speak. I've been really trying to get up to 1,000 so we can do our 10-hour stream. I really want to do a 10-hour stream, and I have this week off, so maybe if we get it before Thursday, I can actually no, I don't think I could do it this week, but in the next couple weeks we can schedule it. I would love to do it. I would love to do it. Thank you for the follow. Sup. Sup. S. 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 U. 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 B. 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 Thank you for the follow. It's so appreciated. 4 more. 4 more. 4 more. 4 more. 4 more. 4 more. So for the 10-hour stream, I don't think I can do 10 hours of ASMR. But I would like to do a mix of tarot readings, playing games with my friends. I have Legos, but last time I had a technical difficulty, so I wasn't able to do my hand cam, but I hope I can do it again soon. Legos, tarot, games with friends, possibly a game with chat, and then watch Epic the Musical, the animatic, and then end it with ASMR. So start, yeah, without the mishaps. I'm hoping. Here's to hoping. Here's to hoping. Without the mishaps, yes. Here's to hoping. usually around 9:30 or a little after is when I usually end my streams and read into somebody else. So I'm sorry we had such a short time together. Yeah, EST gang for real. But yeah, it's 9:30. Right now it's 9:23. Yes, EST. So obviously, because I have to finish the chapter, I won't cut it off at 9:30, but maybe we'll go to 9:45. And thank you so much, everyone. Again, now I'm 4 followers away. If you have any suggestions or requests for the 10-hour stream, I would love to hear them. You can join my Discord server. My Discord server low-key doesn't make sense when you enter. It's scuffed as hell. But still the best way to communicate with me. I promise I'll always see your message in there. And now with that, we're gonna switch back to the other microphone for reading. Oh. I didn't know my other microphone was on yet. I'm sorry. I'm such a burpy. Sorry. Okay. Nobody in the world knows where I am right now, they thought, and the notion of that filled them with bubbling excitement. They had cancelled their life, bailed out on a whim. The person they knew themselves to be should have been rattled by that, but someone else was at the helm now. Someone rebellious and reckless. Someone who had picked a direction and gone for it as if it were no more important than choosing a sandwich. Dex didn't know who they were in that moment. Perhaps that was why they were smiling. The fireflies were bright against the pinking sky, and Dex took that as a cue to set up camp. A few geometric unfoldings later, Dex had conjured both kitchen and shower. Food and a good scrub were imminent, and a chair waited beside the clean fire drum for when all else was complete. Dex put their hands on their hips and surveyed the scene. They nodded. Not a traitor nod, or a service nod, a pleased nod, a satisfied nod. The kind of nod that nodded best when it had no audience. They hooked up the fire drum to the biogas tank strapped to the bottom of the wagon and switched the burner on. A soft whoomp preceded the friendly licks of flame, enticing Dex to lean in. It wasn't too cold out, but their exhausted muscles craved heat, and Dex couldn't help indulging. After a minute or so, they took out their pocket computer in search of music. To their surprise, they still had satellite signal and were able to access the nighttime playlists curated by Woodland Streamcasters. Revamped folk classics flowed forth from the speakers affixed to the kitchen, and Dex's smile grew. Yeah, this was good. They bopped along as they fetched the makings of dinner from inside the wagon, carrying an armload of vegetables back to the stove. There was a boy way out in Buckland, they sang as they began to chop a spicy onion, and I think he knows my name. Dex was a good singer, but this particular talent was not something they were in the habit of sharing. More verses followed, and more vegetables too, spring potatoes, frilly cabbage, a hearty scoop of blue beans to get some protein in there. They swept the colorful medley into a pot, added a generous hunk of butter, tossed in a dash of this and a splash of that, and set the whole jumble on the stove to simmer. 9 minutes, Dex knew, enough to get the veggies soft and the skins crispy. Plenty of opportunity for a shower in the meantime. Dex stripped down, tossing their sweat-soaked clothes into the wagon. They hooked up the gray water pan, positioned it beneath the shower head that swung out from the wagon's exterior, and got to scrubbing. It was a camp shower and therefore nothing to write home about, but even though it lacked the oomph of a proper wash, banishing human salt and trail dust from their skin felt luxurious. Oh, 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 I'll be on my way, they sang as they filled their hair with a thick lather of sweet mint soap. They opened their eyes once the suds were rinsed safely down. Through the mist of the shower head, they could see a squirrel watching them. Oh, thank you for the save. Oh my god, I can't speak. Thank you for the hugs. Mwah. Thank you, Wiki. I'm a bad talker, apparently. I cannot speak. I cannot have proper conversation. Through the mist of the shower head, they could see a squirrel watching them curiously from a nearby rock. The sky above was shifting from pink to orange, and even though the early waking stars had begun to complement the fireflies, the air was not cold enough to make Dex rush. They smiled. Gods, but it was good to be outside. They shut off the water and reached for their towel on its usual hook, but their hand met with nothing. They'd remembered to set out their sandals, but the all-important towel had been forgotten inside the wagon. Ah, damn it, Dex said lightly. They shook themselves off like an otter as the cloudy remains of their shower glugged back into the filtration system. Sandals strapped to wet feet, Dex passed dripping by the kitchen, where the crisping onion and melting butter mingled deliciously. I got whiskey in my pocket, the band on the streamcast sang, and Dex sang it too as they walked not to the wagon but to the fireside. They got as close to the flames as was safe, doing a timid dance as the heat dried them off. I got polish on my shoes, got a boat out on the river, Dex sang, moving their fists like pistons in front of their torso. Singing they could do, dancing not so much, but out here, alone in the middle of nowhere, who cared? They turned around, confidence growing, shaking their bare posterior toward the fire. All I need right now is... Dex would not finish that particular verse because in that moment, a 7-foot-tall, metal-plated, boxy-headed robot strode briskly out of the woods. Hello, the robot said. Dex froze, butt out, hair dripping, heart skipping, whatever thoughts they'd been entertaining vanished forever. The robot walked right up to them. My name is Muskap, it said, sticking out a metal hand. What do you need, and how might I help? And that is the end of chapter 2. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming, for joining me, for following. We went from 973 followers to 996 followers, so you're helping me get closer to my dream of 1,000. It's been a long road to get here, so I'm very happy, I'm very grateful. It was so wonderful to meet all of you. You are all so funny and a wonderful community, so Lay is very lucky, very fortunate to have you, and I hope you can join me sometimes too if you so wish, but no pressure. No pressure. I'm not trying to take you away from anybody, just compliment it if I can. Like another dish or something. I don't know, I couldn't think of an example. But yes, I usually, I gotta update my bio, but Every Tuesday I do ASMR from 6:30 p.m. Eastern to 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And Wednesday I play games or collab with friends and play games with them. But from 6:30 to 9:30. Usually my friends are available at 7, so I just be yapping if I'm on time. Sometimes I'm not on time for the games until 7, but yes, so far that is my schedule. Oh my god, I'm sorry. A very high burp count. I've been having some tummy trouble the last couple of days, so I've been having ginger tea and ginger beer today, and bubbles make me burp way easy. Tarot sometimes, yeah. I'm glad. So thank you so much, and let us find somebody to follow. And thank you again to Pow Pow if you're still here. If not, whatever. Thank you for the gifted subs. Since you did more than one, I will be having your name on my model for the days equivalent to the subs you gave. So thank you. Yeah. And I'll try to figure out. This model is kind of finicky with having it stay where I want it to stay. But yeah, we'll figure it out. So now let's find somebody. Unless you all have someone you would recommend, I am just gonna try to find someone. Yeah. This is someone I rated last time. I think they're a very cute model. They're called Shuggy Coated. They do ASMR. They are so pretty and cute and lovely, and I love them. And I fall in love easy because I totally only followed them last week, but they are so cute. And you can tell them I say so. Okay, now let's get ready to raid Shuggy Coated. I love all of you, and I've had a wonderful time tonight, and I hope to see you again soon. Tomorrow I am playing Tabletop Simulator with Ash, Anwa, and Queen Glowstone. My friends. Last week we played Doomlings and Coup. We might play that again, and we have a couple other board game options tomorrow. So let chaos ensue. Okay, and now let's get that raid started. We get to raid in about 4, 3, 2, 1. Mwah.